So you're in the Aviva at the minute there. When did you get the nod about, or when did you get told about this? Obviously, the rest of the Irish coaching team has gone off with Andy Farrell to the Lions. But for you to be given the reins, like it's some transition for you and a real good opportunity.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured it out because I was the only one left. So, yeah, and Andy said it to me, and I was delighted to do it. And I was actually talking to him yesterday about it. It gives you a bit of empathy for the head coach or for everyone else as well, because sometimes when you're an assistant coach, you're very focused on your areas and you really want the time to get your areas right. But when you're in charge of the whole thing, you kind of realise that the players are getting pulled in a lot of different ways, between defence, between attack, between the breakdown. There's a whole lot of other things going on during the week as well in an international week. So you're just trying to manage their energy and trying to, I suppose, manage the time that the coaches have with them. So Simon has done it on the Emerging Ireland Tour, has done it on the Six Nations as well, and I'll have done it now for a few weeks. And I think it'll help the coaching staff as a whole as we go forward.
Because that's the thing, I suppose you're learning like all the time to have the best coaching staff that you have around Ireland. So that transition to head coach, first of all, it must be very proud. Like honestly, the family and friends at home must have been like, this is an incredible thing to do. But for you to have this 360 and probably greater understanding of what's going on with everyone during the week.
Yeah, I'm very proud, and I'm delighted to do it. There's a good group going to come with me on the tour as well. Obviously, we've had a lot of the staff are going on the Lions, so there's a few other players, a few other coaches from the provinces going to come with me. And look, I just think it kind of adds to what you can do as a coach. Sometimes, as I said, as assistant coach, you come in, you only have to watch the footage, and get prepared and get a plan prepared for the opposition you're going to face. Whereas when you're head coach, you're looking at everything. You're trying to manage staff. You're trying to get the right staff on board, trying to get the right mix of staff, trying to manage players' energy as well at the end of a season. It's not the same as the autumn internationals when they're only a few games into the season. It's not the same as the Six Nations, so it's a little bit different. So you have to think about the whole, and it's a great experience for me, and hopefully I can bring that experience then into my job as an assistant coach after this.
Paul, like you've captained every team you're a part of, but when you retired, it didn't look like you were going to go into coaching, given the commitments and understanding how difficult it is. But obviously Andy Farrell has brought you in. You seem to have, been enjoying your time there. Johnny Sexton, another player who we weren't too sure where he was going to go in his transition after rugby as well, is now full-time with the Irish setup. Like, what's your advice to him going into that role?
I think sometimes, for me anyway, you want to have all the answers when you're a coach, but that's not always the case. You can't always have the answers. Very often the players, and you would have experienced, Tommy, particularly for us as international coaches, very often the players have a lot of the answers themselves. It's just trying to, I suppose, help them come up with the answers, help them advise you on what they're experiencing with the provinces. Because we finished the Six Nations in the middle of March. They have a whole load of challenges that they face throughout the URC, playing South African teams. They go into Europe, they play English teams, they play French teams. They're experiencing different plays, different ways of defending things or attacking things that we don't really experience from last March. So you're trying to, I suppose, lean on them for information and advice and knowledge as well. So I think trying to make the whole thing two-way is the challenge for us as ex-players, because very often we want a coach that can give us all the answers, but I think the players have a lot of the answers, and as a coach you can take some of those, you can package them up into something that is simple, that's easy to understand, easy to keep using. So I think that'll be a challenge for Johnny in his early days, is just, I suppose, using the players for information as much as his own brain, which is obviously, he's a very smart rugby player as well.
Unbelievably, and the rugby IQ in Johnny is just insane. But how important is it for Irish rugby to keep players like that, former greats within the Irish system?
I think if they want to coach, if they want to coach, you need to want to do it. I suppose it's a brilliant job, but it's definitely a tricky job. You know, it's not an easy one. You know, plenty of ex-players in all sorts of sports transition to coaching and struggle with it. Plenty of guys that never played rugby transition to coaching and make a good job of it. There's a lot of learning, I think, to go into becoming a coaching. You know, becoming a coach, it isn't the knowledge of rugby isn't almost the main thing of the job. It's the teaching element is the main thing of the job, and that's the bit, I suppose, as an ex-player that you have to learn. You probably have the rugby knowledge, you probably need to learn the teaching, coaching side of it, and you got it very often. You kind of have to learn that on the job, and you have to learn it on the run, and you have to learn it from watching other coaches who are good at it, and some of the experiences you would have had. You know, we had Joe Schmidt as a coach. Tommy, he was a former teacher, and I know his rugby knowledge was amazing, but his probably teaching knowledge was probably the thing that set him apart.
And it's going to be terrible to have to teach in Portugal, isn't it, this summer, for having to go over to Portugal to play?
They've been out there in a 2-week recce out in Portugal for that match. Not so much in Tbilisi for Georgia, I doubt.
Yeah, I was on a recce. This was my first ever recce. I was in Portugal for a day and a half. It wasn't the glamorous few days out I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, Portugal, the stronghold of rugby that it's known to be.
So here, now that you're going to be the head coach for the Irish team going into the summer series, are you going to pick Kevin the Carrot now with Aldi?
Kevin the Cat, yeah, we're actually here at the Play Rugby Festival, and I've been here, I don't know how many years I've been at this festival, and I generally get bypassed by the kids for Kevin the Carrot. He's the most popular guy here, especially as I'm getting older now. But yeah, it's a bit of fun.
You used to look like Kevin the Carrot before you lost the hair.
God.
Very good, very good, very good.
You're off camera for your reaction there. It's almost like when you're up in the media box and you do nothing when a try is scored against you. You didn't have to see that. How is it going today? Because this is for boys and girls. You kind of go there, you support it as much as you can. It's a non-contact sort of a festival, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant event. You know, there's 20 schools here today, 300 kids, and it's the 9th year that we've been doing it. It's the Play Rugby Festival. It's a non-contact form of the game. There's 4 pitches here, so these kids from all over the country get to come to the Aviva Stadium. They get to play here. Stadium is amazing when it's full. It's also pretty cool when it's empty. They get to go into the changing rooms as well and see, you know, the warm-up area, the jacuzzi, all those, the cool part of the changing room, and it's a brilliant initiative. I suppose this is the big day out of the Aldi Play Rugby Festival, but the programme itself is about getting a non-contact form of the sport into primary schools and getting kids who maybe haven't played rugby before to experience it for the first time, and hopefully on the back of that, you know, a few weeks of playing it in the school, they go to their parents and they ask them to bring them down to the local rugby club, and we get a player for life then, you know, so that's the plan.
Fantastic. Quickly, Paulie, I just need to ask you, Leinster against Northampton, European Cup final this week, or semi-final this weekend, how important is it? How big, what are you expecting?
I think it'll be a very tight game, a probably tighter game than people are expecting, you know, because Northampton are an excellent side. They haven't been as good as they were this year, but they know how to win big competitions as they managed to do last year. A lot of England internationals in their side, so a lot of experience. So they'll be very good. They'll have learned from last year. I would imagine they, you know, played Leinster last year and lost against them. So that'll be a good side. I think it'll be a tighter game than people think it'll be.
Brilliant. Listen.
Best of luck in Portugal.
Yeah,
awful place to have to work.
Massive congratulations on getting the role head coach for Ireland going into the summer series. It's a credit to you. Fair play. Paul O'Connell, thank you so much. Join us down in the Aviva Stadium this morning. Thank you for that.
You're some pup, you are.
Team photo of Kevin the Carrot.
Kevin the Carrot.